Hello everyone and welcome to a wonderful game that was played in 1918 in New York by none other than former world champion Jose Raul Capablanca. It comes as a suggestion from user Kappa Forever, and he said that it's a wonderful game that shows how you cannot repeat chess moves forever. And we often discuss this, but I don't think we've ever shown a game that well shows you why this is so. Now, to those of you who play chess on a regular basis, this goes without saying. But for those of you who are new to chess, it might be odd. Why wouldn't black just play whatever white plays, only from black's perspective? Because there's this thing in chess called check, and when you are in check, you cannot do whatever you want. You have to deal with check, and only after you have dealt with check, you are allowed to continue doing whatever you want to do. So here, Capablanca really shows in this brilliancy miniature how it's impossible to keep it even for a little while. So the game is super short. You guys will love it, and Capablanca punishes the symmetry with absolute surgical precision as usual. So let's check it out. Capablanca has the white pieces and he opens with e4. Our Mr. Hoodie guy replies with e5. That's why I am wearing a hoodie this video. Hope you guys are as well. Knight to f3, knight to c6, knight to c3, and knight to f6. Now, okay, now you might say, okay, but this wasn't really symmetrical because there was knight f3, knight to c6, knight to c3, and only then knight to f6. While this is true, as of this moment on, as of move 3, it is now most definitely a symmetrical game. So bishop to c4, we have bishop to c5 going into the Gioco Piano, the four knights variation of the Gioco Piano. Capablanca castles, our mystery person castles, and Capablanca prepares to develop the bishop. And Mr. Hoodie guy does the same. He plays d6, wants to play bishop to g4, bishop to g5, we have bishop to g4, and now knight to d5. Oh, this of course makes sense. The knight is pinned, so we want to attack it. We want to mess up black's pawn structure in front of the king, and this is exactly what black does. Knight to d4. So the idea is the same. The knight is pinned. We want to capture on f3. So here you might try a couple of different ideas, but the move Capablanca plays is the absolute strongest one, and that is queen to d2. The queen will be very useful along this diagonal, as you know that once this anything that captures on f6, black will have to capture with the g pawn if he doesn't want to give up the queen, and then the queen gets access to the h6 square. And black should really say, all right, enough with this symmetry nonsense. I'm just going to trade here. For example, captures, bishop captures on f3, and white will play something like h3, make room for his king on h2, prepare rook to g1, and continue the attack. And even though for the moment it's the white king that is feeling the breeze, it is definitely white who is attacking here. But black continues with the symmetry. We have queen to d7. He says if it's good enough for Capablanca, it's good enough for me. And now comes bishop captures on f6. Knight captures on f6 is even more forcing as it comes with check right away. But I think Capablanca wanted to have a little bit of fun, and he allowed black to keep the symmetry going for one more move. So here we have bishop captures on f6, bishop captures on f3. Now the position is symmetrical for 10 moves now. However, on move 11, it is no longer possible to keep the symmetry. Knight to e7 with check, and now as black is in check, black does not have the option of going knight to e2 with check. First you have to deal with this, and of course you have to move the king, or you capture here and then you've just given up your queen. So obviously we're not going to do that. So king to h8 was played, and now well, feel free to pause the video and try to find a forced checkmate for Capablanca while I give you a couple of seconds. So for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on spotting this very forcing line. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it is of course bishop captures on g7 with check. If you thought maybe queen to g5 this is also just winning, then just rook to g8. This is a perfectly reasonable move. Even though it seems like white can capture this rook, we just bring the other rook here, and now the g7 pawn is defended, and it's actually black who's going to win this game. So you have to be very careful not not to do that. But after this bishop to g7 move, now there is nothing for black to do here. The bishop must be captured, the g8 square is covered by the knight, so king captures, now comes queen to g5 with check. And now you see how the queen being on d2 makes all of this possible. So now queen to g5 with check, king to h8, and of course queen to f6. This is now checkmate, as like we said, the knight covers the g8 square. So a very, very nice game by none other than Jose Raul Capablanca himself on how symmetry in chess is not possible, or not even viable for a very long time. You can repeat a few moves and pretty much any opening has a symmetrical variation, so you can maybe push it to around move 6, maybe 7, but as you can see, once it reaches move 10, the position just collapses, and that's just it. Okay, these are open games. This was an Italian game. Maybe in some super close structures, maybe it's possible to keep the symmetry going a little bit longer, but if you're a beginner, chances are you are playing open games, and you should always be careful of this nasty thing called check. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for suggesting such a wild Capablanca game. I would like to thank David Kimura, John Guilfoyle, Dominic Novielli, Adam Rosenberg, and Francis Eyre for contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions such as this one and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.